On an island, a fisherman rose from his bed in the deep hours of the night. He left his wife, who was fast asleep, and walked along the dark path. He was already far from their home. He stopped when he reached the place he intended to go. He looked around to see if there were still any residents nearby. And when he was sure no one was around, he entered the thicket of plants. There, he saw an octopus resting on the fronds of a coconut tree. He approached it as if he had known it for a long time. He sat beside it, and the sea creature seemed to be gentle toward him. The creature handed him a drink contained in a split coconut. The liquid inside was red, and he seemed familiar with it. Without hesitation, he drank the liquid as if he had been thirsting for it. After finishing it, he felt something strange. A burning sensation spread through his body, making him sweat all over. He felt the heat intensify, as if his body would explode. It was a feeling he couldn't contain. So he removed his shirt. But the heat was overflowing, and taking off his shirt wasn't enough. The sea creature moved closer to him, as if everything happening was planned. It pressed its tentacles against his body to ease the intense heat. It wrapped its cold, sticky tentacles around him. This caused the man to feel desire for the creature. The sea creature signaled that he needed to remove all his clothing. And without a second thought, he obeyed like a slave and took off his lower garments. The sea creature rushed to him like it had found a delicious meal. It grabbed him and took advantage of every opportunity. The octopus coiled around his entire body and explored every part of him. Their night in that dark place became intense, and he didn't even care if someone saw them. So he removed the last piece of clothing on his body. For almost 6 months, they repeated this encounter again and again. Sometimes in the banana groves. On broken boats by the shore. In the middle of the sea. In the island's hidden streams. Behind large rocks. They even did it behind their house while his wife was asleep. For 6 months, he kept drinking that red liquid given by the sea creature, and every time, he felt the same heat, like he could do anything, driven by the burning in his body. The next morning, he would eat the meals served by his wife. Unbeknownst to him, his wife had begun to notice the strange changes in him. She couldn't shake the feeling that he was meeting someone else, especially since he no longer fulfilled her needs as a woman. At 3 in the morning, he got up again. But this time, his wife saw him leave the house. He walked again through the dark night, hurriedly, as if he couldn't wait. He went deep into the remote parts of the island, fearless and driven only by desire. There, he stopped when he finally saw what he was looking for. A red octopus glowing in the moonlight, seductively luring anyone who laid eyes on it. Driven by longing, he approached it like a thirsty man. But he didn't know his wife had followed him and saw everything. He held back his desire for the creature. He felt the hot blood rushing through his veins. Then, suddenly, the creature released a black liquid, something it rarely did. Without hesitation, he took the creature from the ground and drank the liquid it released. This made him feel an unbearable heat, as if his insides were burning. Still, the sea creature seduced him, gradually wrapping itself around his burning body. It crawled into him, forcing itself beneath his skin. Until he completely lost consciousness, and the creature slowly entered his body. He just woke up one morning as if nothing had happened, not a single trace of the black liquid on him or around him. He went home but didn't find his wife. He looked all over, but she was nowhere to be found. Guilt overwhelmed him. He knew he had wronged his wife and wanted to repent. He wanted to rest, even though he wasn't sleepy. As he lay down, he felt something strange in his body, a burning sensation. Sweat poured all over him. He felt his blood rushing fast through his veins. He sat up, feeling the intense heat, and took off his shirt. His breathing was rapid. Then he was shocked to see a red octopus crawling through his doorway. As he looked around, he saw the red liquid on the table. Without thinking, he drank it eagerly, not for the taste, but for the strange feeling it gave him. The heat surged again, but this time it was more intense. The desire was overwhelming, as if he could commit any sin. He felt like he was about to burst as his body grew, so he took off all his clothes, now only covered in sweat. Outside his house, groups of red octopuses were racing to reach him, like they were desperate to touch him. And there, throughout the night, these creatures shared him with one another, and he endured, with all his strength, how they devoured the heat of the night.